better daily, where we work hard in our minds, bodies, and our spirits to become 1% better every single day. Download the app and join our Betterment family at betterdaily.live to catch the video version of these podcasts. Here's your host and my dad, Alex Van Houten.
What is up, Betterment family? This is Alex Van Houten in Better Daily Live. Happy Thursday. Today is Word Thursday, and the word is conscientiousness. So, in the past couple weeks, I have been going through personality words. Extroversion and agreeableness were the first two, and today we're going to cover 3 of 5, which is conscientiousness. Now remember, when it comes to personality traits, we all have a genetic predisposition toward being high in these traits, low in these traits, or kind of in the middle of the road. And it's not necessarily a good or a bad thing, it just means that that's the kind of person that we are. Now, it doesn't doom us to act in certain ways, but it does reveal to us some of our strengths and some of our weaknesses. And perhaps we could work to expand our personalities a little bit. So, conscientiousness, this is a really interesting metric. In fact, it's one of the most poorly understood metrics with regard to personality traits. From a scientific perspective, we understand extroversion very well, whether you're high or low in extroversion, how to look for that, what kind of implications that means, and similarly with agreeableness. But conscientiousness is a weird one, because in conscientiousness, this is broken down into 2 categories. One's called orderliness, and the other's called industriousness. Now, people who are high in conscientiousness, I'm a 98 on the percentile scale, and my wife is 97. So we're both highly conscientious people. When you're high on the conscientiousness scale, what it means is you approach things purposefully and in an orderly manner, is really what it means, right? Those who are low in conscientiousness, one of the things that you would say about them in a positive perspective, they're really good at having fun, letting loose, relaxed, peaceful, right? On the negative end, those who are low in conscientiousness, it's so hard to say that fast, that you would say, or they might even say about themselves, I'm lazy. I don't have a lot of get up and go. I don't have a lot of reason to be motivated and go do a bunch of stuff. I have a friend of mine who worked out with me for a while there, and he would say things like, "Oh, if it wasn't for working out with you, I wouldn't work out at all," because he was pretty low in conscientiousness. No, he and I got along really well together, but as far as schedules went, as far as motivation to get things done, not a lot of that kind of self-motivating thing to him. And those of us who are high in conscientiousness, you would say that person's dependable, that person's reliable, trustworthy, they do what they say they're going to do. That's on the positive side of things. You might even say hardworking. But on the negative side of things, you would say that person doesn't know how to have fun. That person doesn't know how to let loose. And perhaps at a certain time in my life, that was very true. My children have helped to balance me out quite a bit. The desire to be a good father oftentimes overrides my desire to be a very productive individual, and so balancing those two has been quite the job for me. But the aspects of conscientiousness are really interesting, because orderliness seems to be innate. Orderly people who are really high in orderliness, they love things just so. Things are organized, things are all of the clothes in their closet face a certain way, and they make sure that, I'll give you an example. My wife is a 99 out of 100 in orderliness. I'm an 81 out of 100 in orderliness. So I like things to be organized, but I'm really not that worried about it. I'm not that worried about it. So I grew up with something called a junk drawer. Did anybody else have a junk drawer? Do you have a junk drawer? You know what I'm talking about? It's the catch-all drawer. It's the drawer in the kitchen, usually in the corner of the kitchen where you walk by all the time, where you end up with old batteries and nuts and bolts and like pens that don't work and just stuff, just junk. There's junk in the junk drawer. We had a junk drawer growing up. You knew that you went there to grab a battery. Maybe it would work when batteries ran out. If you needed a penny, there was always a penny in the junk drawer. You could always... There were those weird toys where you had to use a penny instead of a screwdriver, or if you had a science experiment you were going to do and you needed a penny for whatever reason, there was always a penny in the junk drawer. In my house, as an adult, I do not have a junk drawer because my wife hates junk drawers. We have a drawer that's the catch-all drawer, but she has organized it. She has gone to Hobby Lobby and she has her little compartments and everything has its place and the pens are there and we throw away the ones that don't work. You can't find a penny in my junk drawer. There are no old batteries and I don't even know what to do with this drawer because there's like a stapler and anyway. Orderly people do that. Orderly people, they purge things and they organize things and things are just so. And it's really funny in our house, there's, I mean, like I said, I'm an 82 out of 100 on this personality scale. Orderliness, this aspect of conscientiousness. I do like a clean house, you know, I'll pick up and clean and stuff. But people who are higher on the orderliness scale, they'll clean up faster. So, you know, I might leave a shirt in the floor and I'll get it by the end of the day. But my wife has already 3 minutes behind me go, you know, pick that thing up, which is really interesting, by the way, because, you know, toothpaste, you squeeze it from the bottom. In my mind, there are two kinds of people in this world. There are the people whose toothpaste is a mess. You know what I'm talking about? Like it's just all, are you one of those people? Don't be one of those people. There are toothpastes everywhere. And I like to take mine against the edge of the cabinet and squeeze all the toothpaste to the end so that, you know, it's nice and it's easy to, so I might be lower in orderliness, but my wife, she's a messy toothpaste kind of person. So she might have to pick up my shirt off the floor, but I fix her toothpaste tube because, dude. But you know you're high in orderliness if you're a person who likes to-do lists. So you like to write things down and check them off the list and like, boom, I got my to-do list done. And you know you're a person who's really high in orderliness when you've done something that wasn't on your to-do list, so you go write it down so that you can check it off. I have all these things on my to-do list, but I also did laundry. Let me write that on there real quick. I got to give myself credit. But industriousness is interesting because orderliness it seems to be an 8. It's also correlated with disgust sensitivity. People who are easily disgusted by things tend to be more orderly. It's a very, very interesting correlation between the two. But industriousness, this seems to be trainable. And it might be the only aspect of personality that's actually trainable, that you can add down the scale. People become more industrious when more is expected of them. It's very interesting. So when you find yourself in a position, let's say under a manager who demands a little more of you than you've ever had demanded of you, or maybe you had a coach in your life that really pushed you hard, really rode you hard, right? Perspective. You know, I've found with my clients, a lot of times they'll hire me to help them because they're feeling kind of lazy right now. And a coach can actually help you shift your industriousness up. Industrious is the desire to be productive, really. Not just the desire, but the get after it, you know, the feeling of getting after it. And then it doesn't just have to be one person. Sometimes industriousness is a collective thing. If you put yourself in a group, you'll actually work harder. This is a tried and true fact that you'll work harder because you understand the expectations of the group and generally you'll rise to the occasion. So there are individuals who are naturally high in industriousness, and the research seems to bear out that it's not a genetic thing. Having parents who are industrious does not necessarily mean that you'll show up industrious, where like orderliness is genetic. Like if you have a very organized parent who's hardcore about their junk drawer, it's very possible you'll be a neat freak as well, and that's fine, right? But industriousness is different. It seems to be a trained thing. It's an aspect of conscientiousness that seems to be trained. We're still, like I said, the conscientiousness is the least well understood aspect of personality. But if you've had an experience, I'd love to hear if you're somebody who feels like, man, I have to be productive. You know, I work hard. I wake up before the sun comes up. A lot of times I usually hit the ground running before anybody else. If I'm in a group of people, I find myself doing a lot of the work, no matter what. You know, I find this in the church setting very often. Highly industrious people tend to show up early and help and stay after and help when there's an event or something along those lines. Like we'll run a men's breakfast, and the industrious men will show up about 10 to 15 minutes, sometimes even 20 minutes early to help set out chairs and get tables open, wipe things down, make some coffee, do what they need to do so that the event runs smoothly. They're the ones who often, can't sit still and talk for very long. They're hanging out and stuff, but they'll take people's plates and put them in the trash without being asked. And then also, at the end, people go home and that person's still staying after, sweeping up the floor, taking out the trash. That's what industriousness looks like. And it's weird because industriousness seems to be something that you can develop. And so what I wanted to say about conscientiousness here on Word Thursday is that you might be a neat freak, you might be a little bit of a slob. That's not something you can change. You can work toward improving that in your life. Some of the neat freaks need to chill out a little bit and stop cleaning and enjoy the view and have a junk drawer. Talking to you, wifey. And some of you slobs need to organize your life a little bit so those things aren't getting in your way. But industriousness, that's something I think we could all use in our lives, is to be hardworking and productive at the things that we really care about. And that's not something that has to be innate in you. This is something that can be trained. If you want to be more motivated, if you want to be harder working, if you want to see the projects through that you've started, you can increase your industriousness. And the way that you do that is by connecting with other industrious people. They'll rub off on you. They will train you to be more industrious in yourself. And so here on Word Thursday, the word is conscientiousness. This is the least well understood aspect of personality. It's orderliness and industriousness. Shout out to you neat freaks with no junk drawers. Shout out to you slobs who could organize yourself just a little bit. And shout out to you who are surrounding yourself, like in this group, with people who make you harder working. Guys, you rock. Thank you for joining me on Word Thursday. And I appreciate the neat freaks in here. I appreciate the hardworking people. I even appreciate those of you who are creative slobs. I'm closer to that. Like Einstein's desk. And I look forward to joining you tomorrow for Flex Friday, where we'll go through an exercise movement that will help you on your 1% better journey. Guys, this has been Alex Van Houten in Better Daily Live. Until next time, it's just 1%. You got this.
Thank you for joining us for your 1% Better today. Don't forget to subscribe for the podcast. Leave us a raving review to tell others how Better Daily has helped you in your journey. If you want more Better Daily, download our app and join our Betterment family at betterdaily.live. Use code POD to get 25% off your subscription. That's POD, all caps, to save 25% on your subscription. We all have a cross to carry. It's lighter when we do it together. Go to betterdaily.live today.